internal alpha is basically the first point where we take the game and we just give it to the company. And we say, okay, you guys play it now and tell us what's wrong with it. It's not nerve-wracking at all. Like, doesn't make us nervous in the least bit. You know, we know that the majority of the feedback will come about Act 1. So essentially, we're trying to get Act 1 to shipping quality. The rest is we basically have to pick and choose our battles. So we tend to go through and focus on the things that we think are going to have the biggest impact on quality of gameplay. We have a lot of UI elements that we're kind of finalizing that we've got feedback from the strike teams that just weren't good enough. You know, stuff that just kind of didn't seem natural to us. It was actually quite confusing when we put it in front of people who were experiencing the game for the first time.
But that strike team doc was, what, 50 pages long of things like, here's
53,
53
just on the
okay.
UI. We took that doc and we tasked like 95% of it. Just said, yes, do all this stuff.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the most fun thing to look at it the first time, but I think we all looked at it and went, yep, that stuff needs to change.
Yeah.
Like, that's the stuff that makes it better.
At least you have the list, though. Like,
right.
A list is something you can action on. If you don't know what's wrong, well, that's way worse.
Yeah.
I just did the installer, Windows.
That makes it a little
task.
more real.
Yeah, so you start doing those, you're like, yeah, this is cool.
The great thing, too, is that we've been getting a lot of help from the other development teams and from across the company. You know, the other development teams have been really generous. And you know, it's nice to see how much of a family Blizzard is and that they're willing to essentially take their own personal goals and push them out so that they can help us achieve ours sooner.
I think it's really exciting seeing a game in a home stretch. It's huge. I think a game like Diablo is a pretty big game to sort of wrap your head around, you know, because there's a lot of things involved with it. And when you start seeing really the pieces coming together as nice as they have been, it's just super exciting.
Gosh, there's so many things that have been going on technically. For us, it's really, at this point, it's kind of a race against the clock. Like, we're just trying to pack as much stuff into the game as possible. I think one of the coolest things that's happened this last month is that we've started to get a lot of the stuff for BattleNet up and running, and you can see it on screen. Previous to this, when you were hopping into a game, you were sort of doing it in sort of a roundabout technical way. But now things are really starting to come together for the final production. Now we're starting to see the screens where you can hop into a game, you can choose other people, you can find your friends. It's all really coming together, and that's pretty exciting. It's starting to look really good. There's just so much to do. I mean, it just seems like there's never enough time because we always want to make the game better and better.
That's what I learned that early in the industry, is that if you don't get a full night's sleep, you're not actually benefiting. You're not getting more time in the day. You're just destroying kind of your ability to focus. So I actually make a point of getting 8 hours unless I play a game that I really like. So occasionally that will happen, but most of the time,
You're a night owl.
hours. I am a night owl. I don't like to get 8 hours. I would actually stay up all night if I could, but.
It's interesting. I actually tend to go to bed around 2 or 3.
In the afternoon, actually.
Right. Yes. This is why we nap around 2 or 3 for like 4 hours.
But how many hours do you get?
I wake up around 7, maybe 7, 8.
Wow.
So is that 4, 5, 6?
That's not good for you. You need more sleep.
I agree.
I probably get 7, 8 hours, something like that. I don't know.
You should be more like.
I work long
I want to be
hours,
like you
but
guys.
I try to sleep, so.
Yeah.